Okay, you guys, we are back with part 2 of the function study guide. So these are the solutions for the second part. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first question says, what is the y-intercept of the table? And write an equation for the table. Well, in order to figure any of these out, I have to look at the relationship of how we're getting from our x to our y. All right, now we can either see if it's additive, if we're adding a number, or if we're adding a negative number, or if it's proportional, if we're multiplying or dividing. So in this case, it is additive because to get from 1 to 5, I have to add 4, right? To get from 2 to 6, well, 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 4 is 7, so we're adding 4. We're taking whatever x is, and we're adding 4. So our equation is y equals x plus 4. For the y-intercept of the table, well, we learned in our part 1 series that if we look at this equation, right, our y-intercept always comes after the x, right? This is our y-intercept. So the y-intercept, which I'm going to represent as b, is 4. You don't have to write the b. You can also write y-int equals 4. You can just write the number 4. Or you can write it as an ordered pair as 0, 4. All right. Another thing you could have did to find the y-intercept is you could have looked at the pattern. It's where x equals 0, right? So if I add 4 to that, then I would get 4 on the chart. The next question says, what is the slope of the table? Write an equation for the table. All right, so let's go ahead and look at how we're getting from x to y. Is this additive or is this proportional? Well, and the answer to that is it's definitely proportional because we're going to multiply 3. I have to multiply 2 times 3 to get 6, or 4 times 3 to get 12, or 6 times 3 to get 18. So our rule is that we're multiplying it x times 3. That's going to equal y, but I want to see you write it with the coefficient in front of the variable. So our equation is 3x. If you think about what we know about our equation, y equals mx plus b, our slope is the number in front of the x. So in this case, our slope is the 3. So our m equals 3 over 1. Now, the reason why I put it over 1 is because we're talking about the change in y over the change in x. So you have to have a ratio there. You have to have two numbers to represent the slope. If there isn't two numbers, then it's just a whole number. Just put it over 1. All right, good job, you guys. Here's the next example. So here we have a real life situation, and we're going to create a, well, let's read what it says. Jake sold 3 boxes of cookies for $12, 2 boxes of cookies for $8, and 4 boxes of cookies for $16. What is the rate of change? Write an equation where y represents the cost, so that's a typo, that should be the, and x represents the number of cookies. All right, so we got a few things going on. First of all, we need to know what the rate of change is. Well, does anyone know? The rate of change is the same thing as the slope. So they're basically giving us some information, and from that information, we have to find what the slope is. All right, now, so we're told that y represents the cost, right? So I'm going to make a little T chart here, all right? Y, that represents the cost. X represents the boxes of cookies. So I'm going to put boxes cookies. All right. Sorry that my handwriting is messy, but it is difficult to use this pen. All right. So let's go ahead and fill in this chart based off of the information that they give us. Jake sold 3 boxes of cookies, so I'm going to put a 3 there for $12. All right. He also sold 2 boxes of cookies for $8 and 4 boxes of cookies for $16. So in order for us to find the rate of change, we really have to write the equation first. So this is what I would do. I would look at the relationship. How are we getting from x to y? Every time I'm multiplying by 4. X times 4. All right. So the equation would be y equals x times 4, but you're expected to write it in this format with the x, with the 4 first and the x last. So the equation is y equals 4x. Our slope, remember our formula, y equals mx plus b. The slope is the number in front of the variable. So the slope in this case is 4 over 1. Remember we talked about the last problem, how you need to put a ratio, so that's why I put it over 1. All right, and the last problem for this series, Wade has, okay, so there's a typo here, so I need to make sure that I'm clear in what they're asking you to do. Wade has 6 stickers and will earn a sticker for each chore that he does, okay? So he will earn 1 sticker for each chore. All right. He will earn, so you can cross this out, and so that makes it a little bit easier. He will earn 1 sticker for each chore. Write an equation to show how many stickers y he will have after x number of chores. So if we, and then we have to know what the y-intercept is. So if I set up a table, I need to know what is my x going to represent and what is the y. Well, it tells us that x represents the number of chores and y represents stickers. So he already has, for not doing any chores, he already started out with 6 stickers. All right, maybe he had them from prior, I don't know, from earlier. So if he does 1 chore, he'll earn a sticker. Well, if he already has 6, then he'll have 7. All right, if he does 2 chores, if he already had 7, he'll earn 1 more chore, so that will be 8. All right. If he does 3 chores, he'll earn a sticker for that. Well, if he had 8, then he'll have 9. All right. So their relationship to get from chores to stickers is every time we're adding 6. All right. 0 plus 6 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 plus 6 is 8. 3 plus 6 is 9. All right, so to get from x to the y, we're adding whatever x is, we're going to add 6. So the equation is y equals x plus 6. In order to get y, we're adding 6 to x every time. The y-intercept, as we learned before from this equation, mx plus b, our y-intercept is the b. It's the number that's after the variable. In this case, the y-intercept is 6. I'm writing b because b is in the equation. You can also write y-intercept equals 6. And that is the end of our first video.